Hi, I'm Mike Winkler, and I'm the Principal Managing Broker for Coldwell Banker Bain in Issaquah, Washington.
And I'm E.J. Bowles. I'm the Principal Managing Broker for Coldwell Banker Bain on Mercer Island, Washington.
EJ, in our last video blog post, we talked about being motivated in tough times, and I'm happy to report to you that the Salmon Days festival that we talked about was motivating and uplifting for a lot of people, and that's good because it is tough times all around. But one of the things that we agreed on in that video blog post is that an essential piece to staying motivated and focused, particularly in difficult times, is having a plan. So it's October, and it's probably appropriate we start talking about business plans again.
That's right, and we had a Realty Brothers video blog post really not too long ago where we talked about business planning and the fact that it is hard in our industry to get real estate brokers to produce a plan and to use it on a daily basis. And in fact, in that video, Mike mentioned that in the classes that we teach, we find about 20% or fewer than 20% of the brokers actually produce and use a business plan. So we've taken a sort of a complete look at the planning process and in a typical Realty Bros or different way, come up with something new. Mike, tell us about that.
Well, we call it business planning on steroids, and it's an interactive approach around planning that's really meant to cut through all of the kind of periphery, all the stuff that's floating around in our brokers' heads, and find out a couple of things. One, what is it they really want to do, because they're more likely to do it.
That's right.
And two, how to prioritize those ideas. And so the key is that we find out what the broker likes to do and wants to do, and we're not imposing our preconceived notions or the way things ought to be based on some other plan. Certainly we know that there are some things that work. I mean, experience is a great teacher because it tells you that some things work and some things don't, and in real estate that's true too. And there are some aspects of real estate that you just can't get away from, so you just have to incorporate them in your plan, like managing your sphere and prospecting and those types of things, which no one likes to do.
That's right.
So we'll offer suggestions, but at the end of the day, the beauty of this is that it's really the broker's ideas.
That's right, and here's how it begins and how it works is that Mike mentioned this is an interactive approach, and so it involves a session where it starts out as sort of a free-flowing, almost a stream of consciousness rap that the broker talks about their business. And what is it they like? What is it that they don't like about the business? What do they like to do? What don't they like? What do they not like to do? What is it that they have fun at? What is not so much fun? And all of these different thoughts we keep a record of all of that, and it's really the baseline for where we go from there.
Sounds an awful lot like a visit to my psychiatrist.
Well, that's a different blog post.
That's a different blog post. But anyway, once the planning session is complete, we're able to determine, based on all of the input from the broker, what the most important things are that need to be accomplished in order for that broker to be successful in their business. And then we make a list. And so the key is prioritizing that list, and that's a challenge. And that takes some discussion, and we actually force rank, or actually we have the broker force rank their list. So they're going to not be able to have everything on there. They're going to have to prioritize and drop some things. And what's nice is that there's kind of a natural progression, because as you talk through those points, you realize that some of them are nice to have, and some of them are must-haves. And so, you know, it's an effective tool.
And so what we do is we end up with a list, but we focus on the number one item only. And one of the things that we find working with salespeople and salespeople personalities is that one of the huge mistakes that people make is that they try to do too many things at once, and that they try to focus on too many things at once. So what we do is insist that the broker pick the number one thing, and that's what they're going to focus on. And of course the idea is that through the year, as they complete the number one item on their list, they work through, they bring up item number 2, raises to be in item number 1, and they actually get things done, because too often we see business plans where nothing really gets done.
Well, EJ, the follow-up sessions are key and thankfully much shorter. But we all need to be accountable to someone, and a lot of times it's just we're accountable to our loved ones, our significant others, our partners, whatever. Because aside from the business piece, we've got to put food on the table and pay the water bill, and so that's a piece of accountability. But the other part of it is really about making sure that you're doing the steps. So those follow-up sessions are really simple, because we have the commitment that the brokers already worked through with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a matter of, okay, here's what you said you were going to do. Did you do it?
That's right.
And if not, then why? But it's a non-threatening thing, because sometimes there's great rationale for not having done it, and for these are dynamic plans for changing it midstream. On the other hand, sometimes it's a wake-up session to, you're right, I need to do this. At Coldwell Banker Bain, we've always prided ourselves on the fact that all of our principal managing brokers are engaged in the planning process with their brokers. In fact, our core philosophy, one of them, is that we are partners in business with our brokers. And so every broker's success is paramount to the principal managing broker. So the planning process is relatively simple when you do it this way, and we can say with conviction that when you have a plan, you will succeed.
Absolutely. I'm EJ Bolts.
I'm Mike Winkler. Until next time.